everyone, and welcome to the Marketing Show presented by BusinessTheNow.com, where you, the small business owner, can come to improve the way you work. And for today's topic on the Marketing Show, we're talking about social media websites and really social media websites going forward in 2011. I picked out a few that I think you really have to keep your eye on for 2011. I think they're just going to make a splash on the scene, and I know some of them that I mentioned in the blog post are already big players in the social media game and are already well established, but I think they're just going to grow even more and that they're doing some interesting things. So take a look at them below, pick out which ones you think are really going to help your business for 2011. Pick the ones that you're most comfortable with, that you can engage with people online. But let's go ahead and get started and talk about a few of them. Not going to address all of them because really that would take a lot of time. But let's go ahead with the first one, and that's Ustream. Now, I really like Ustream, as you all probably know. I talk about it a lot because it is the best place, I think, to engage your audience, your customers. We love to get instant feedback, and we love to get answers to our questions. One of the things that I've been talking a lot about lately is how you can really add value to your community and those that follow your content online by doing a Q&A in some way, whether that's through a blog post, something like what Social Media Examiner does, how they have an expert come onto their Facebook wall and you ask questions and the expert responds to them. So Q&A is going to be huge for those who want to partake in it, and Ustream is really the best way to do it. I think right away when we think of videos on the web, we think of YouTube and uploading videos that were already pre-made. But I think once people get a better understanding of how to do live streaming, you're going to see it really take off going forward. Now, I'm not saying it's going to overtake YouTube, because I think that's really kind of impossible, because if Google sees something that's really catching on, they're probably going to implement some sort of live streaming to YouTube. So just wanted to watch the live streaming platforms that are available on the web. Another one, Daily Booth, I think is really going to be unique going forward, because we talk a lot about how you have to have a face to your business, how you have to showcase yourself, and as well as your employees as well too. People want to know who's behind the business, who they're working with, and who they should reach out for when they have questions. And I think one of the best ways to do that is through photos. So if you're not a big video person, look to maybe capture that through photos, and Daily Booth is a great platform for that. One company to watch who does it really well is VanderMedia, Gary Vaynerchuk, a company. So really check out what they're doing. They have a good example of how you can really put a face to your business and really showcase your personality on that platform. So I think it's only going to grow more. Dabbled with it myself a little bit, but what I have seen so far with Daily Booth is that it's more of a younger generation, more teenage thing that they have a lot of users of that age. I think they have to go through a little bit more of a transition, kind of like what Facebook had to do. They were more of the college scene, and now they've transitioned to all ages that partake in the social media platform. So once that happens, more and more people will use it. But I think it's definitely one to take a look at. And of course, I couldn't do this blog post without mentioning Facebook. Once again, we kind of addressed how I think that kind of led to the development of Daily Booth, but Facebook, they do so many things, and I had to include them because they are so quick to adjust on what other people are doing on the web. Just look at what they were able to do with social location or geolocation, social media, whatever you want to call it, platforms like Foursquare and Gowalla. They are able to implement Facebook Places with deals, so that's really going to be some good competition there for Foursquare to see how they can adjust to a big competitor like Facebook. One thing that I think Facebook, if they were to do, could really do well, and that's the video. If you ever try to record a video directly from Facebook, you're going to notice it's really being kind of pixely and not very good video quality. If they were to fix that, I think people would use Facebook a lot more for video and do some direct recording from Facebook. But that's only one thing they don't do well, as you know that they are definitely a huge influencer online. But feel free to look at the other ones. Of course, again, talking about the geolocation social medias like Foursquare and Gowalla. I have to admit here that I was a big Gowalla fan, and I was hoping that they would sort of be, I guess, the go-to sort of social media geolocation for that going forward. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It looks like Foursquare is going to continue to dominate along with Facebook. So it's really interesting to see that develop. But take a look at the other ones. They are, of course, like I said, some well-established like BizSugar. I'm a big participant of BizSugar. I think it's a great social media website, social networking site. But feel free to share your opinions with me as well too. What social media website did I miss? Which one do you think is going to be huge going forward? Please share that with me below, and our viewers. Also, if you want to expand on a social media website I already talked about, please do so. But that's going to bring a close to the Marketing Show. And I will see you next time on another episode of the Marketing Show here on BusinessDoneNow.com.